King of Kings, welcome back. Another top five. Excited about this week. We had a special guest, fresh into Omaha, Nathan D. Young. Welcome, man. How we doing?
What's up, y'all? Doing great. Ready to get this started.
All right. Peter Bay, got some rave dancing going on. You excited about this topic?
I'm feeling super, Mike. Feeling super.
Oh, super.
Ooh,
All right.
okay,
Nice
okay.
lead in. We're doing top five superhero movies of all time. I will not participate. Let me just share why. There's some superhero movies that are great, but as a genre itself, I kind of veer away. They're fine. They seem pretty similar plot line. You guys can, there's judgment on Nathan's face right off the bat. That's fine. But I'm going to leave it to the experts, Peter and Nathan. And a question off the top for you guys, Batman. Is Batman truly a superhero, or is he a rich guy with a lot of toys that does good things? Nathan, what do you think?
I think that's a good question. I would say he is a superhero.
Because what's his superpower?
Okay, well, he doesn't have a superpower. So that's where I would say, what are we defining as a superhero? Is it someone that is superly heroic? I don't know. I just made that up. I think he could fall in superhero, but he does not have a superpower.
Okay. All right, Mr. B, how do you respond to that question or Nathan's thoughts?
I would say, is cinnamon raisin bread truly a bread because it also has cinnamon and raisins in it? I know that doesn't answer the question.
That's a great response, and my mind is blown. I have no idea what to say. So let's move on. Nathan, how did you approach accumulating your list of top five superhero movies? What was the process like?
Oh, man. Okay, so when I was thinking through this, the word that came to my mind was epic. So I was looking for things in just considering movies I've seen that are epic in like every sense of the word and in every avenue in the movie. So they have epic characters. They have an epic storyline. If there's a plot twist, it's epic, unexpected, and just spectacular. So I wanted things that were epic.
Epic. Okay. Would you allow Star Wars, Lord of the Rings movies, or are those not fit in this genre?
No, I would not. I would not categorize that. We're sticking purely to superheroes in their superpowers or they're associated with superheroes.
All right. Can you give, there's kind of two main categories, DC and Marvel. Can you rattle off a few of each just so our viewers know? Because I can't always separate them.
Great. Love it. So DC is going to be more of your classics like Superman, Batman, like the Joker. And that's going to fall in there as well too.
Flash, Aquaman, maybe?
Flash.
Okay. All right.
I was about to rattle off some like super obscure characters, not relevant. And then Marvel is more of your Iron Mans, your
Avengers,
Captain America, Avengers, Hulk.
All right, good stuff. Mr. B, how did you approach this topic? You look perplexed. Give us some insight.
Well, did you just say pole vault?
Me?
What did you say, Nathan? Pole vault?
No, I said the Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk. I was like, I don't know that superhero. The pole vault.
The pole vault.
Have you ever seen the Hulk pole vault, though?
Ooh, I think he would snap that. He'd have to have a super pole vaulting stick.
That's
Mr.
right.
B, how'd you approach your list?
I naturally just slide towards comedy. And so for me, it has to be entertaining. It has to be fun. It has to keep moving.
All right.
That's what captured a lot of my picks. So I bet we're going to have some differences, but there can be some epic that included some comedy as well. We'll see what.
All right. As always, viewers, you are a huge part of Top 5. Comment where we got it right and, of course, where we got it wrong. Quick note about future programming. We're going to have one more episode next week and take a break and try to prep for season 2 of Top 5. Tears are rolling down our faces. But we're in episode 12, I believe. And all our old episodes are on the YouTube channel, King of Kings YouTube channel. Check it out. Nathan, on to you. Honorable mentions or movies that you dislike. Let's hear them.
Oh, okay. So I'll start with dislike. So the worst superhero movie, in my opinion, is X-Men Apocalypse. The reason for that is because it was the biggest letdown of my life. I love X-Men, big fan, and I love the character of Apocalypse. Nobody knows who that is. He's basically just supposed to be the all-powerful. And it was teased in a previous movie, got me so excited for like a year and a half, and it came out and it was trash. Story was terrible, made no sense, huge letdown. My heart is still heavy.
You said biggest letdown of your life?
In movies.
Okay. Wow. I was like, that was a pretty broad statement. Honorable mentions, what you got?
Honorable mentions. I got 3 honorable mentions, all right? These are, man, they should be up there, but they didn't quite make it. Number 1, The Dark Knight. So good. The whole franchise, amazing. I love Heath Ledger, the Joker. Incredible performance. None will ever top it. It didn't quite make it in the list for me, though. Still an excellent movie. Number 2, Iron Man, the original, because it's Iron Man, the original. So good. It has set the precedent for superhero movies to come, and it has just aged really well, like a fine wine. My wife and I watched it a couple weeks ago, and it was just as enjoyable as the first time. And 3rd honorable mention would be X2, so the second X-Men movie, because growing up, I did not have cable at our house. I was the son of a pastor. We did not have cable growing up at our house, so we were limited to whatever movies were around, or when it was summertime, we would go to the library, and we were just checking out VHSs like it was candy. And I would always get X2, which is the second X-Men movie. It had my favorite X-Men character, his debut, Nightcrawler. It was awesome. Love that movie.
All right. There's a lot of trauma coming out in your life in this episode so far. Are pastors across the board against cable TV?
It was more of a statement of the funding was not there for the cable.
Yeah. We didn't have cable growing up. Mr. B didn't have cable growing up, I don't think either.
We're not standing on the street with signs saying cable companies need to go down.
Gotcha. All right. Mr. B, any movies you dislike or any honorable mentions you want to toss out today?
You know, I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to movies. I do understand Nathan's with the expectations. If they're super high and then it's just not quite there, that's a super big letdown. So I don't have any that I want to hate on today, but I do have an honorable mention. This is a fantastic superhero movie, and it has 174 superheroes in it, and it is Avengers Endgame. This movie, I went to this movie by myself on opening weekend and sat between a guy who ate an entire bag of flaming hot Cheetos and another guy who was really big, kind of like, like drooping over onto my chair. And both of them were crying during Avengers Endgame. And so that's just the power of that movie. Honorable mention, Avengers Endgame.
I have 2 questions coming out of that statement. How did you minister to those 2 men after that movie?
Oh, Mike, I don't minister and tell.
Okay. All right. Well said. And then also, my guess is that Flamin' Hot Cheetos are not sold in movie theaters.
Not like the economy size bag either, man.
How do you guys feel about bringing your own snacks and drinks into movie theaters? How do you feel about that, Mr. B?
You can come and talk to me in private about that. I'm not going to comment about that on the video.
Nathan?
Support your local theater, man. Buy them snacks.
All right. Well said. Tuesdays, discount movies, cheap popcorn if we're allowed back in with the whole coronavirus stuff. All right. On to our official list. Nathan, number 5, which movie?
Number 5, Spider-Man 2. Not The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, not Into the Spider-Verse, although that is an excellent movie. Honorable mention number 4. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, because not only is it enjoyable, not only do you get to see Dr. Octopus with all his robotic arms, what's cooler than that, but it's in my opinion, one of the best portrayals of like the superhero's dilemma, where you have Spider-Man on one hand and Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker on the other. And Peter Parker has his hopes, his desires, his dreams, things that he wants to do. But then you got Spider-Man, and he needs to be ready for the civilians. And he really wrestles the whole movie with sacrifice. I got to give up some of what I want because I've been given great responsibility.
What a dilemma. There's even a Christian principle right there. I love it. Mr. B, number 5. Kick us off with your number 5.
Yeah, also a movie with tons of Christian principles. This is Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. This is a fantastic movie that also there was a guest star spot by Vanilla Ice. And I'd like to speak some of the words of the rap from Ninja Rap.
I can't wait for this.
Yo, it's a cream machine. We're gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Slam and jam to the new swing sound. Yeah, everybody, let's move. Vanilla is here with the new drag groove. Gonna walk and roll this place with the power of the Ninja Turtle bass. Iceman. Yeah, you know I ain't playing. Devastate the show while the turtles on. I forgot that word. Saying. And then here's the dance. He went like this. Ice, ice, baby. You can't see my feet, but I'm doing a dance.
That was one of the most incredible performances.
If a turtle, if a turtle is getting down on the dance floor, what is that called?
Oh, I bet you. I hope you have a punchline.
I'm genuinely curious.
I always thought it was a joke too. And Peter, you forgot to mention, didn't that movie win the Academy Award that year for Best Picture?
Oh, every year it won it for like
the all-time Academy Award movie of history. Yeah. All right,
Razor, some great villains. Secret of the Ooze.
You do love the turtles. That's okay. It's good. Number 4, Nathan. Who's your movie?
Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Hilarious. So, Peter, I'm hoping one of them makes an appearance in your top 5, talking about comedy superheroes. I genuinely struggle with which one is better between 1 and 2, and I think I would choose 2 because it's hard to follow up a movie like Guardians Volume 1. Guardians 2 did it so well, and I think the character development in it is phenomenal. Like Yondu, watching him being a father for Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, hilarious. I nearly cried at the end. Amazing movie.
Wow. Tears to my eyes right now. Isn't that one with the tree thing that just says Groot the whole time, or I'm Groot or whatever?
It is one of them with the tree thing, yes.
Got it. All right, cool. Peter, number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 is the other one with the tree thingy. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, the original.
Woo!
Oh!
Number 4s.
Yes, the comedy in those movies is fantastic. Just outrageous characters. You've got Groot, you got Rocket, you got Drax, and just every one of them is so unique. And yeah, even some romance with Sky-Lord and Gamora. Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, some funny stuff and a great soundtrack too. Check it out.
Ooh, all right, awesome mix.
Nathan, on to number 3.
Number 3, this is a explicit content warning, rated R film. Be careful. Number 3, Watchmen. I'm getting some confused looks. Maybe have not seen this film. Watchmen, great movie. It's an adaptation of a DC comic, so it is a DC film. It's not Marvel. And it has much more darker undertones and overtones throughout. It's a great picture of just the dregs and the sin of society, and some people that try to rise up to the occasion. They're not perfect. They mess it up. But it really is one of those movies that ends kind of with total depravity. There's no hope. The villain wins, and there's nothing the superheroes can do. There's a little bit of hope at the end. Great movie.
All right, deep pull, Mr. B. Have you heard of that movie?
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. Nathan was 4 years old when that came out. So.
Maybe not even born yet.
Dude, I was in sophomore in high school when it came out.
And what's the R rating? How old do you have to be to go to an R-rated movie? What's that? 17?
17?
He was an old sophomore.
Our sophomore no. Anyway, we'll move beyond that. Mr. B, number 3.
Number 3, this is another Marvel movie, and it channels the power of vibranium. This is Black Panther. Number 3 follows the quest of T'Challa as he comes and has to take over for his father T'Chaka, and it's a magnificent movie. Once again, I just love the characters. That was one of those they had all these tribes, and it was T'Challa's very serious, but it had some great comedy in it, some kind of advanced technology with the vibranium. Number 3.
Yeah. I love the cultural stuff. And man, every person in that movie is just ripped up, just totally jacked. It's crazy.
So can I quick story about my wife that will get me in trouble later, but it's worth it.
Yes.
Please.
She has her nightly routine, as all beautiful, lovely women in our lives do, to get their face ready and stuff. And so she was putting on her stuff, and she was just kind of making dots of it all over. And she straight up looked like she was out of that scene when they're about to throw down. And I walked in and I'm like, is that T'Challa? And she just looked at me, and then she started going,
Did she challenge you? Did you guys have to fight?
Yeah, she won.
Yeah, well played. Well played. Number 2, Nathan, we're on to you, man. Who you got?
Number 2, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past?
Days of Future Past.
Very confusing timeline. Okay.
Well, it is a foreshadowing of the content because I'm a sucker for time travel movies. So this one has time travel going on in it, Days of Future Past. It's all about a very bleak future, and they try to go into the past to correct the future, make it all right. Excellent movie, epic story, great conclusion. I love X-Men.
Okay, so it's kind of the Back to the Future of superhero movies, which you're a huge fan of.
That's a great connection, yes. And this is the one that teased my worst choice. So the movie itself so great, had a great teaser at the end, and then fell flat.
Expectations. That's all about life, folks. Expectations are 95% of our frustration. Preaching. Mr. B, number 2.
Number 2, this is another hilarious movie. Just from start to finish, it was action-packed, super funny. Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to see Thor battle with the Hulk. That's just a fantastic movie, and I don't know that it quite got the accolades it deserves. So Thor Ragnarok, worth checking out.
Okay. All right, Nathan, take us home. Who's your number 1?
Number 1. You know, you mentioned Back to the Future. Back to the Future for the longest time was my favorite movie of all time until it was replaced by this movie. Number 1 superhero movie of all time, Infinity War. Man, it was. I was not one of those people, Peter, that was sitting in the theater eating Cheetos, but I was one of those people that was like basically crying like in this movie, and not because everybody died at the end, but because it was so beautiful. It was 10
spoiler
years.
alert, man. You got kids watching this who haven't seen it.
It is too late by now, okay? 10 years in the making. 2008, Iron Man comes out. 2018, Infinity War. It was just the realization of so many years. It was so beautiful, and it's just fantastic.
Okay. Mr. B, number 1 for you?
Yeah, number 1. This one was on Nate Dogg's honorable mentions. This is the one that, for me, is not comedy-driven. It is an epic movie with the greatest – I mean, you can debate whether or not he's a superhero in Batman, but you cannot debate the incredible performance by Heath Ledger as the greatest villain of all time in playing the Joker. So my number 1, The Dark Knight.
All right. Well said. Like I said, go ahead.
A wonderful soundtrack with that one. I mean, that mostly very different from Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Mostly instrumental, but Dark Knight, as you did not want the Joker to leave the screen. Not many movies you can say that with a villain.
Yeah. All right. Well said. A couple thoughts from me. I am not a huge fan of the genre. I think, one, because there's this complicated backstory to most of these movies. Characters come in and they're assuming that you know the 25 years of comic book history with this minor character. And it's like, I don't know who this person is. And then they almost always have the same plot line. Impossible situation. Hero comes in, long shot, saves the day, which is a lot of movies, honestly.
Gospel message.
It is the God. I love the gospel, man. But, man, movies are so freaking predictable. So if I'm thinking outside the box, Dark Knight, man, Batman Begins, those kind of ones, a little bit like darker and predictable. And then the Joker. Heavy movie, debatable as a superhero movie, but incredible performance right there, worth checking out. Nathan, final thoughts for you?
If that's the case, you should watch Watchmen. I think you'd really enjoy it.
On my list. Mr. B?
Yeah, I'd say the Joker's worth watching if you want to be like pretty depressed afterwards. If you're into that kind of thing, check out the Joker. If you like a happier life, I'd stay away from that one, man. That was
stick to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
go watch Thor Ragnarok.
Battle. Yeah, we didn't talk about real issues. Fake people battle, throw them around, and whatever. Anyway, they never.
Come on.
Check out Endgame. All right, comment below where we got it right, where we got it wrong. One more episode next week, and we will break. Find old episodes on King of Kings YouTube channel. Love you guys. Have a great week. Nathan, thanks for being on. We'll catch you guys next Top 5.